Documents reveal that the National Intelligence Agency has been purchasing Americans' metadata regarding their search histories through data brokers. I'm Gianfranco Martinez, and this is Radioactive. Now, according to an article that was published on January 25th in the New York Times, previous months during this recording, Democratic Senator Ron Wyden published a letter to the head of the Department of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, demanding that the agency follows legalities of collecting information under a warrant. Now, according to CNN, NSA Director Paul Nakasone reveals that the information that was collected was metadata, more specifically, net flow data. For those who are unaware, net flow data is a type of internet protocol that was developed by the networking and router company Cisco, used for system administrators and ISPs, the internet service providers. Sysadmins being the people who help run the internet in businesses and other, large enterprises, and the ISPs who give internet to the people and the businesses and the libraries, and so on and so forth. This protocol was used to collect data about IP addresses from the source to where the destination of the IP address ends. This data on its own is enough data to piece together a person's browsing habits and activities. So what's happening here is ISPs collect this info and then they sell it to data brokers, which is where we find ourselves with the NSA. I mean, the news here is anything but shocking, as I am sure everyone knows that the government can spy on us and has been going over the law to get their grubby hands on any revealing information coming from commercial data brokers and their tools. I mean, this stuff was revealed when former NSA contractor Edward Snowden leaked NSA documents back in 2013, revealing how the NSA is basically doing the same thing we see today, using its tools to spy on Americans without a warrant. For example, off the top of my head here, XKeyscore, a surveillance tool used by the NSA that was leaked in 2013, and it was shown that it could spy on U.S. citizens without the use of a warrant. To be serious here, this is a big problem that agencies can just do this and not getting pushback from the government, especially with legislation in place that started this. I'm glad that at least someone within the government, in this case Wyden, cares about our privacy. And if these agencies wish to continue working, they need to abide by the system in place and by the legislation that has been used to ensure that we have some privacy, and that they have to do any investigations and such to get any info with a warrant. The NSA has been fighting against Senator Wyden since 2020, avoiding the recently these documents. The practice of data brokers is the shadiest, since it's such a hidden and anonymous practice. It's also such a gray area, because the NSA and other government bodies who would want to attain this information needs to get a warrant. But because it did this without a warrant, in this case the NSA, it went above the law, and so technically I can say it, this was illegal. And I am so sick and tired of the fact that no one seems to notice. No one seems to care, because they're too busy staring at some screen, watching a bunch of unintelligible nonsense that the 24/7 social media landfill spews out daily. And I'm so sick and tired of people not caring about their privacy. If this document doesn't show you anything, at least I could tell you this. Government bodies like this can obtain any information, your search history, what you do, where you go on a daily basis. And it's all in the view of keeping you safe. Let me ask you something. Do you feel safe when you know that the government constantly watches you, what you do, and judges you for anything you search up? This is not cool. You're supposed to feel safe, but yet the government is just, doing whatever they want, going over the law, I argue here. Why? Why would we let them do this? That's the thing. What is it that we can do as people in this scenario? Well, I say we do something about it by contacting our local politicians, and we petition our grievances against legislation like this. Hopefully, our cause goes to lawmakers in Congress. Or I'd suggest supporting some non-governmental organizations that have this anti-surveillance stance. For instance, there is the EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which is an international nonprofit digital rights group focusing on your privacy and security. The organization discusses things like legislation like this that affects our lives in the digital age. I hope here what I'm saying makes you curious and questions things like how much the power of the government has over our communications and technology. Or if you're just a person who's concerned about what data brokers collect, might I suggest requesting opting out of any data that was sent to data brokers, or just directly contacting them saying, delete my stuff, please, since, technically you have to delete them if they ask, but if they don't, I'd say go to some services like Incogni and Delete Me. These are two services that a lot of people have been pushing to help with your privacy and which help scrub any data you have on the internet that came from your data brokers. Overall, this has been Radioactive. As stated before, knowledge is power. With this power, we may build the stronger, smarter, and private internet we desire. Thank you very much, and please stay tuned for more.